Okay.
Yeah, do you know when you record this session? How do we watch it?
Oh, what I can do is after the session, there will be conversion of this session into a video, and so I will upload the video onto YouTube, and then send you the link.
Ah, right. Sorry, I'm being stupid.
No, it's not you being stupid. It's the only way that I know how to do it, and I've been sending Rama, the video of previous session, although they are very short.
Yeah. Okay then.
Right. I'm really, really excited that we are, having this conversation, having this discussion together.
I know. I need to get more organized with the family somehow to give me more time to do what I need to do, really.
Of course.
You don't realize how tricky it can be.
I know, because can take up a lot of your time.
Yeah, like last week, sorry, but Jasper was just being such a pain.
That's fine.
Even when I got him in bed, I was just a bit right. I don't think there was any benefit me coming to join your meeting when I was feeling the way I was feeling.
That's fine. That's fine. Right. Okay. So you saw my questions.
Yeah.
And I know that you said that you haven't got the time to revise, but it really doesn't matter, so that we can sort of talk about these questions and then see whether there's any confusion, any issues, any understanding. Right. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So you've got your notes with you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the first question. What is heart in 5 elements, and what are its characteristics?
Let me find my heart.
So we have to think about the 5 elements, isn't it?
Oh, it's fire, isn't it, the heart?
Yeah. Okay, so we said that heart is fire in the 5 elements. So why do we say that, it's fire, and what sort of characteristics that the fire or the heart has?
When you say characteristics, have you got an example? I just get a bit confused.
Okay. No. So when we talk about the 5 elements, each element has its own characteristics. Like the wood, the characteristics of wood is uprising, spreading, growing, isn't it? And then the water is cold, it's not down. So for fire, because we said that the heart is fire, so for fire, what sort of a characteristic that fire has?
Well, it's hot, isn't it? The fire, so it's hot. Obviously, the color red association with that one. I'm not actually sure. I'm just thinking of the energy.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it is hot. It gives out energy. It warms, things up. So that are the fire's characteristics, isn't it?
I'm thinking which way, like in my head, I can't think if it was rising or downward, or whether it's different, the heart.
Say it again.
Do you know, like some energy's rising, some's downwards, but the heart, I'm not quite sure. Is that like different?
Oh, I see what you mean. You were saying that, for our zhang, the organ, you've got the organ qi. So you're kind of saying that, the fire qi is down. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what. Is it downwards, is it?
Well, I mean, for this present moment, when we just talk about the 5 elements, about the heart, we are not talking about the heart qi yet.
Okay.
We just kind of think about the reason why we say heart is fire. So when we say why heart is fire, so we're kind of comparing the two characteristics. So just now you mentioned that the fire is red in color, hot, isn't it? Giving warm. So similarly for our heart, red in color, give a kind of sort of give off warm throughout the body, isn't it? Giving out the energy, isn't it?
It is. It is. I'm just trying to find my notes when we did the heart. I write loads of notes. You know, she's doing the presentations.
Yes, we have the heart. the first down that we talk about.
Oh, was it the first one we talked about?
Yeah, the first down that we talk about is heart. So it's after these yin yang and 5 elements.
Is it after like the blood?
It's about the blood because heart is related to blood.
I can find like the blood.
Heart governs the blood. So
I
have
just
you
can't
got?
find the heart.
Huh?
I can't find the heart. My heart.
You can't find the heart. So let me show you the heart. So you see?
No, you've got a background on.
No, can't. You can't see. No. Okay, I'm just gonna take away. See if I can take away the virtual background. Right. Okay. So this one.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't got the slides. I've only got my own notes that I've written, if that makes sense. No, she does a presentation.
Yes, this is the presentation.
Yeah, but when she does it, I write my own notes in my book.
Okay.
I can't find where I've written all about the heart. The one with the gallbladder, that was recently, wasn't it? Oh, I don't know. I've lost it now. I've got relationship, things that, you know, like for example, the small intestine, it has a relationship to the heart, for example.
Yeah.
So the heart seems to come up quite a lot because I think in another bit earlier on with a different meridian channel, the heart's mentioned again, the connection to the heart. But I can't actually find like the heart nerves.
But do you have this presentation with you?
No, not to hand. It's all just on my emails, the presentations.
So you have not printed that out?
No, I don't have a printer, so I've got to ask my dad, you see.
Okay. So
I feel a bit bad asking him all the time.
Okay. So anyway, the heart, well, just now we kind of say that, you know, heart belongs to fire.
Yeah.
So for fire, the characteristics of fire is warm, red, heat, give out energy. So you think about the heart in our body, it kind of just have the similar functions, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so because of that, so we say that heart is fire in terms of 5 elements.
Yeah,
right?
I've got the elements here, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's it.
Okay. Is that the first question?
Yeah, anything that you want to bring out, you know, in relating to these 5 elements and heart?
I think then the other bit when I'm looking at the 5 elements, we wrote a little bit about so yeah, that heat, burns, combusts. It's connected to summer because it's obviously fire. So summer is the season.
Well, the fact that the fire combusts is to give out heat, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, basically give out heat, yeah. So the heart being the pump of the blood, give out energy. It warms our body.
Yeah. I'm just writing this down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Shall we move on to the second one?
Yeah.
Right, the second one is in yin yang theory, what is hot and why? So when we think about yin yang theory, we
Yeah,
think about
is it yang?
yeah, why?
Because it's yang is hot.
Yeah.
I'm just that's all I can really remember about it being hot, so it's therefore it's yang.
Yeah, so for yin yang, for the yang, it is hot, it's kind of you have motion, active, right?
Yeah.
So for the heart, because it gives out, or rather it kind of responsible for the circulation of the blood. Again, it gives us that sort of energy.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, it gives out heat. It is warm. So it is yang.
Because that's like movement into yang. It's like that kind of movement.
Yeah.
Element.
Yeah, because you see that in yin yang theory, yin, the negative one, the opposite one, is kind of a quiet, downward, cold, inactive.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yang is the opposite, and so fire or hot is really give us all that sort of yang characteristics. Make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was just seeing if I had any other notes that I could put my finger on. I think. And the bit I can see is around like you keep your colour in you as well for like yang, for the heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all I've got on that one.
Yeah. And actually, when we talk about yin yang, we know that it's just relative. So if we're talking about the organs in the body, the heart is, you know, in the upper body, whereas, you know, opposed to sort of say the intestines, you know, and a lower body. So the heart is comparatively, you know, in a higher position, it's yang position.
I've wrote the word outwardness. No, like, so does the energy from the heart, does it go everywhere?
The energy of the heart is if you kind of think about the blood circulation, yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, when we talk about the qi, how to say, like you said, you know, different jiang qi, there is a tendency of the qi movement.
Yeah. So obviously the heart is yang. So yep. Would it become yin then if we kind of using up? Can you ever use it because it's your heart? Can you actually have yin energy predominant in the heart?
What do you mean by yin energy? You got heart yin. Are you talking about heart yin?
Yeah, sorry, heart yin.
Yes, we do, because you see that, as I said, you know, yin yang are relative. So for everything, for this yin yang theory, so literally for everything, you've got like yin, you've got like yang. Because if you think back for yin yang theory, we said that they are two opposing, you know, characteristics or opposing force. isn't it? If you don't, they are interdependent. If we don't have yin, we don't have yang.
No, and because Professor Zink mentioned about having to cool the fire heart.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, I can't remember the other organs, but the other organs kind of keep the heart cool. Yeah, okay, I remember now.
Yeah, that is because we kind of say that heart belongs to fire, and fire gives out heat. So heart doesn't like heat.
Yeah.
So when we have too much heart yang, too much heart heat, then it obviously will sort of, our body balance will be off balance.
Yeah.
So we need to have the kidney water to cool down the heart fire.
Yeah, so it's kidney water. Okay.
Yeah, kidney water.
Yeah, okay, I remember saying that now, which makes sense. That kind of answers my question, doesn't it? Oh dear. Okay, yeah, that's good then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, but I just want to bring out one thing, because even though we say that, the heart is belonging yang organ, but if you remember when Professor initially say about zhang fu, so she mentioned about the zhang as a whole belong to yin because it's solid, and then the fu as a whole belong to yang because it's empty. You have a lot of function. I don't know whether you remember that or not.
Yeah, like a solid organ. When she was talking about solid organs, and they're all, you said they're all yin.
Yeah.
Or is it yang, the solid organs?
Well, if we kind of because this is a little bit difficult to understand. We can sort of clarify with Professor, because when we talk about the yin yang, the zhang fu, yin yang zhang fu, so they are a pair. So every yin zhang, you've got a yang fu. So she did mention, or even in the books, you say that for the yin zhang, because they are solid, they are yin. And the fu, they are empty, their container, they have a lot of function going on, like the gallbladder, you have the bile secreted in the intestines, you have to have that absorb the water, absorb the things, you see. So that fu are generally yang. But however, when we talk about zhang itself, just now we kind of say that heart is a yang zhang. Within the zhang, heart is a yang zhang because of the fire characteristics.
Yeah, I'll have to read a bit more about that actually. Because she touched on that in the last session, didn't she? Some of that as well. Briefly. So I think she was answering a question for somebody and started talking about that. But yeah, I'll have to find that in my notes then, that bit, because I haven't quite got that clear in my head.
Yeah, or what we can do is to write down the question and send her the questions so that she can answer us in the next session.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what question are you going to ask her?
I don't know how to because I don't understand it enough. I can't actually form the question. Because is it going back to, I know I've just said this to you. I do remember saying something about solid organs being a yang or a yin. And then like the energy was in my head, I think like the energy flowing was like the yin. So then in my head, I thought the organs was yang, but I may be wrong from what you've just said, but I can't find it.
It should be the other way around, because you see that with the energy flowing around, it should be yang, because energy flowing around is action, isn't it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Movement, action.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not sure then of that really.
So write it down and ask Professor.
Yeah. Solid organs. Yeah, not sure of that one.
Yeah, okay. But definitely in her notes, she did say that heart is a yang zhang. Yes,
When you say Shang, how do you spell that?
this one, zhang,
Yang Shang.
Zhang. Yang zhang. So it's yang, you know, Y-A-N-G, yang. So zhang is A-N-G.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up, see if I've written that somewhere then.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, question 3. Question 3 is, what are the functions of heart and how are these functions achieved? So functions of the heart, what do you think?
Is that what we've already kind of talked about then? The physical function of the heart.
Yeah,
So
can you read? Can you read?
no.
Is it no? Clear enough? No?
No.
Okay. Look, you say what you want to say first, and then I'll show you what you wrote.
Well, for what we were talking about, is it kind of like moves the blood
Yeah.
through the body, gives that energy. Does then the heart, or I'm not sure if another organ comes into play where then it moves, like the chi moves the blood.
Correct.
So there's the chi side and then the function side, if that makes.
What about here? What about here? So for Chinese, TCM, heart, also related to
mental health, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the brain, for the shen. So in TCM, the heart, the function of the heart, number 1 is to govern the blood, to move the blood and to produce the blood.
Yeah.
And the number 2 is to house the shen, sort of govern the brain activities.
Okay. Is that just about like the blood getting in there and kind of?
And more than that, we can talk about the govern the blood first. So to govern the blood in her notes, okay. So she has written move the blood and produce the blood.
Yeah.
So to move the blood, we need to have the heart chi to move the blood.
Yeah.
Because chi give us the energy, give us the motor, give us the power to move.
Yeah.
And then the heart, and also not only the chi, but and also the heart yang. Because yang, if you remember, we just talked about the characteristics of yang is to give rise, to move, to the energy, really. Okay, so if we the heart chi and the heart yang help us to move the blood. Now we also have the heart yin, and also they call it the heart blood, because you see that if we want to have a good circulation, we need to have a good blood vessels. So the heart yin is to control, keep control of the heart yang, so that it will not go too high up.
So heart yin helps balance like blood pressure.
Yes, you can say that, but in TCM they kind of say that the heart yin is to sort of balance the heart yang.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but you can sort of think about the blood pressure. The high blood pressure may be a little bit of the manifestation of the heart yang, but obviously there are other reasons for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but in specific terms, this heart yin is to keep the heart yang in control, in balance.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the heart yin, what does the heart yin do? So if you think about when we talk about yin character, so the yin character is quiet, like water, moisturized, that sort of thing. So for the heart yin, it kind of moisturize our blood vessels, moisturize the heart, give nurture the heart, nurture the blood.
Does it slow down the energy then, almost, but in a good way? Like, you said about it stops the energy going to all over the place. Does the yin kind of calm that down a bit?
Yes, the yin, this heart yin, calm down the heart yang.
Yeah.
Because if the heart yang is too strong, it may sort of have an impact on the blood vessels, the elasticity. So we don't want that. We don't want to have high blood pressure, like you said.
Yeah.
So the heart yin, keep it in control, in a good strength.
Yeah.
And make sure that our circulatory systems is in a good moisturized kind of condition, not too dry. And also help us to clean the vessels, make sure that the vessels are clean, so that the blood can go through easily.
So the
with normal heartbeat.
Okay.
And then the other component of this heart is what we call the heart blood, is because you see that the heart is responsible. Well, they produce the blood, and also the function of the heart is to do the pumping, to move the blood. So we do need to have the blood.
Yeah. So heart produces the blood as well. That's what.
Yeah, that's one of the function. So that's under the first function of governing the blood. I've run out of time. Okay, we have 10 more minutes before we go to the second session.
Okay.
Right, okay. So just now we said that how we say that the one of the function of the heart is to govern the blood. And how can this function be achieved? Is we have the heart qi to move the blood.
Yeah.
We have the heart yang, again, to help to move the blood. And we have these heart yin to sort of keep the heart yang in control, to nourish, to moisturize the circulatory systems. And we have the heart blood to sort of make sure that we have a good blood volume.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that is go on.
Yeah, I think that's really good. That kind of gives them questions are really good. it kind of brings it all quite clear.
Okay, so the next function of the heart is the shunt, to house the shunt. So just now we talk about the mental activity, because you see that in TCM, the mental activity, the brain activity is mainly responsible by the heart. The heart is, do that as well.
Okay.
So if we don't have a good heart here, we'll be confused. And we will have a dream a lot.
Okay.
Have all sort of mental issues.
Yeah, I remember talking about this. About the housing the Shen.
Yeah, housing the Shen, yeah. So in Professor's notes, okay, so this is page, I don't know what page is that. So if you read this, so she was saying that the blood is the material base for the Shen.
Okay.
And the Shen is the dominate the manifestations of the blood. So I don't really know what this is. Let me see. It probably kind of say that, blood is the material base of the Shen, but then the Shen is the how the blood sort of the condition of the blood probably is reflected by the Shen.
Okay.
I don't know whether you know what I'm talking about. Not really.
No, I don't know enough about it. So
Oh, never mind.
I don't see if I can find it. I remember about the housing the Shen there. I remember that.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense on its own.
Yeah.
But around about it, I'm not quite sure.
I just remember that, it's house the Shen then.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if there's other things to talk about. Right, okay.
See that bit.
You've got that bit. So I think that now we can kind of it's really blood. No, the heart has two major functions. One is to govern the blood. The other one is to house the Shen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when we talked about what sort of dysfunction or manifestation of heart dysfunction, then we literally kind of think about the heart qi, heart yang, heart yin, and the blood.
Yeah. I was asking that question about where heart qi, how that moves. And apparently the heart qi moves downwards to support the kidney yang. So do you think that right? What is that your understanding of heart qi? Does that move downwards? Because some are rising and some are.
Yes, it is. It is because you're quite right that the heart chi, because it kind of carry the fire. Yeah, so if it is how to say because you see that, you know, we don't want the heart chi, the heart yang too much, so it kind of go up to the head and affect us. So we want it to be down, and also we want to sort of when we do the health qigong, we want to sort of help the kidney water, the kidney qi to go up. So that the fire and the water, they can sort of you know, balance each other, keeping a good control in a harmony. Is that how you understand?
Yeah, that's kind of what my notes are saying as well. Good.
Okay, now back to the fourth question is just that we mentioned about 4 components. So we have the heart qi, we have the heart yang, heart yin, and blood. So if the heart qi is deficient, what will happen?
Is that when you like might have weakness then? You know, like feeling tired and could get anemic? Is it those kind of things?
Well, not necessarily anemic, because I think that anemic is talking about the blood itself, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now, just think about the heart qi. What does the heart qi do? The heart qi is to move the blood. It is a kind of a pump. It's kind of a motor. So if you don't have the motor, so the blood will become stagnant. Isn't it? Because the blood cannot move.
Yeah.
Without the motor, it cannot move. So the blood will kind of, you have the blood pooling, you have the blood stasis, and if it is serious enough, you got the blood stagnation.
Yeah.
And so if you've got that, so if, say for example, if you got that pooling of the blood, probably, you know, you will look dark complexion. Certain, you know, body parts will become dark color, not pink red, not a normal, nice looking pink, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then because the heart qi, if that is, you know, the heart qi deficient, but if the heart qi is too much, and the heart yang is too much, so they sort of may have an impact on the elasticity of